It is a bright, sunshiny day here in the desert Southwest, and the temperature comfortable enough that they said, hey, let's open the roof. That's what they've done here at State Farm Stadium, just west of downtown Phoenix. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Carolina Panthers and the Arizona Cardinals. Now a carry for the former Michigan State man, Le'Veon Bell. Call it no gain on the game's first play. And it's second down now. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold him to no gain.
And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. Another good run there for a guy who, remember, on Wednesday was named NFC Offensive Player of the Week for what he did a week ago.
Yeah, and you know it takes some solid runs and some extra special ones in order to win that type of an award. I think he's locked in and wants to get it done a second time.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Trey Boston. Well, not a good omen there. His first throw of the afternoon, intercepted.
And I know what the fans are thinking right now. I hope there's not negative thoughts in his head going forward since that's his first throw of the game. But one of the things I remember about him coming out of school is he's able to wipe things away pretty easily and move on.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Quick slant, caught by Moore. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. It's a Carolina first down on a gain of 16.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe needs some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
First carry for Christian McCaffrey. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last two plays.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
They'll try to run with McCaffrey, and he will take it across for a Panthers touchdown. Christian McCaffrey, his 6th touchdown of the season, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Extra point try good by Gano, and it's now a 7-0 game. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away.
Let's go. The Cardinals take over. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Their own 25-yard line.
Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started. They had the interception last time. It led to the opening touchdown. So now 7-0 to score as they start 1st and 10. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size and these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later. Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, he breaks through, it's nothing but room to run.
And Eifert has it. A pickup of 24 on the third down conversion.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What do the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up a first down.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Andy Isabella was the intended target, but it'll be second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. From the shotgun, it's a give to Bell. 1 yard, the official pickup there, so it's going to set up 3rd and 9. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Panthers' 34-yard line.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're...
He rifles one that's intercepted. Dante Jackson picks it. And he is going to get this one back to the 20-yard line. Andy Isabella was the intended target. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
The drive begins with a run by McCaffrey. He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now 2nd and 7 from the 23. Here's the 2nd and 7. And Thomas has it. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Here's McCaffrey. And he's got a good gain of 7 up to the 37. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far is working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Now a run with McCaffrey. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. And I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
Two first downs have them up to the 41 now for 1st and 10.
Check 52.
After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports.
Mike 58 right there. Target.
Back to throw now on first down. Taking a shot for Samuel. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 24. And he will return this one to the 30-yard line. The rookie was trying to push it downfield, but the safety bit him.
And he'll learn that you have to hold the safety. And you do that with your head movement, your eyes, sometimes your shoulders. Hold the safety so that you can get back to the throw that you really want to make. He got so excited thinking his guy was open that he made it easy for the defensive back to go get the football.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. After the penalty, it's Bell. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd down at the 19-yard line.
43 is mine. I'm going to run you over. I'm going to run you over. Shut up.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Murray. And an alley. Oh, now Murray has it stripped. And it's picked up by the Panthers. And they will take over at the 29-yard line.
When I see a play like that, I come back to risk reward. I don't know about you, but is it worth it at that point, whatever you're going to pick up, to either take the hit, and in this case, lose the football?
Should have gone down. I mean, hindsight's always 20/20, but that's the safe play.
You're exactly right. Hindsight's really never wrong, is it? Because you can analyze it, but I think ultimately you got to look at it as a first option, taking care of the ball, getting what you can, and that's it. Don't worry about any more.
Ready. Take the outlaw. Let's go, D. Double time.
On first down, it's Caldwell, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
On 2nd down, McCaffrey. And he'll be stopped after a gain of only a couple down to the 15-yard line.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Third down, here's McCaffrey. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Carolina. Christian McCaffrey with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Panthers, they widen their lead. And this is no good. Missed the PAT, so they fail to connect. And this remains a 13-0 game. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. This is fielded at the goal line. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. Now a man open down the middle of the field. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Let's make these babies cry all the way back.
From the gun on 3rd down, Murray looks to throw, fires right side, and that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. This is away and a very good kick angled for the sidelines. And this will carry out of bounds. Where are they going to spot it now? At about the 18-yard line, it looks like. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. They start on the ground with McCaffrey, and he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. The officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that would look pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard, inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. McCaffrey following the penalty. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Go.
2nd and 11. Looking downfield for Godwin. And that is caught one-handed. Oh, my, he pulled it in. And he's going to get this deep onto Arizona's side of the field. Well, it's one thing to grab it with one hand, but when you make a catch of that distance, quite another.
Yes, sir. I mean, that one right there, we keep talking about the high-flying antics that we're seeing from receivers nowadays. Doesn't matter what spot they start in. But when
and he will take it across for a Panthers touchdown. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Panthers, they widen their lead.
And we know they won't get their names in the stat sheet, but the offensive line has to get all the credit for that touchdown run. Tremendous job of blocking, paving the way for the 6 points.
Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line.
At their own 21-yard line.
Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the 2nd quarter, but you're down.
Want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
We get slap happy up here sometimes. Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Throwing is Murray on 3rd down. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So a good kick there to polish off the drive with 3 points.
Yeah, coaches always talk about finishing a drive with a kick. 2 of them give you points, either an extra point or, in this case, a field goal.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there. It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Second and 10. He'll get this complete to Batson. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A gain of 32 that time. Well, that certainly changes things.
Yeah, I think the thought process is they take this lead into the locker room, run something simple here and run the clock out. Instead, they get the big play. Now they have a chance to increase what they've done in the first half.
Pretty nice work defensively there on the first down run as they hold him to a gain of a couple. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
I got you.
Here's 2nd and 8. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. On first down, this is McCaffrey. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. The Panthers going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Keep it up, defense. Keep it up, guys.
2nd and 6.
You ain't doing nothing.
Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31.
They just gave up a sack there. If I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. But hang on, a flag is down. Now, if it's on the defense, they might decline it and take the points. After knocking through the field goal, here's Gano back out there now for the kickoff. An incredibly short kick fielded way up there. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we send you on out to our studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman at REA Sports Halftime Report. The Panthers out in front, and they will get the football first. Second half action underway. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spend the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. It'll be a loss of 1, and they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. set up to throw. Taking a shot for Samuel. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. A terrific return. 30 yards all in all. And the Cards will take over 1st and 10. Murray now on 1st down. He'll let this go for the end zone. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them. Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
They go play action here on 1st down. It's caught. Lockett. 18 on that one, and the Cardinals have a 1st down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Murray now. This is caught. Watkins. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. A gain of 6 there on 1st. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. To throw is Murray. Forced out to his left. 4 yards there as they let him out of the pocket, and he got enough for the 1st.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit, because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into his windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a second interception, really a bad throw, so maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
They'll give it to Chubb. And he will get into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. Nick Chubb, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Cardinals cut into that lead. Point after, right down the middle. And that cuts this lead down to 13. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll be taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line.
At their own 21-yard line.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession, and that was punt the football, because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing, but control the game offensively. Put together some 1st downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
Watch QB drop. Watch QB drop.
He'll look to throw. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they march off another 15 against your squad.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Taking a shot for Samuel. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Curtis Samuel, the one he was looking for. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
I know the initial focus was on how far that pass was downfield, but how about the coverage on the play? Able to stay with him, get his hands where the receiver's hands were going to try and catch the ball, tips it up in the air, and knocks it away.
So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. This is McCaffrey. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. Now back to throw. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. It's Devin White, the linebacker. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. Well, holding on to the lead at this stage in the second half, those are the types of plays you really want to try and stay away from.
And when you're a rookie, keeping your focus is something that you still have to work on all the time because there's so many distractions around you between the crowd noise and your coaches and your teammates. But the other part, you've got to learn how to finish. It's the 2 F's for a rookie quarterback.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Murray again, 2nd and 10. It's complete to Lockett. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. It's a gain of 11 and a Cardinal 1st down. Murray now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Out of the shotgun, it's Bell. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
From just shy of midfield, Murray caught here by Bell. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
Give him 32 on the play. On 1st and 10, here's Murray. Being chased out left. And he's going to keep it here. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter. Welcome back to the desert. We're in Glendale. It's Cardinal football, but they trail here as we get set to bring you the 4th and final quarter. Escaping the pressure right to the end zone, but it's incomplete. Andy Isabella was the intended target, but now it's 3rd and goal.
Quarterbacking 101. Never force the ball into double coverage, especially not this close to the goal line. The windows are so tight, you just don't want to force it in there because it'll be tipped up and picked off.
In trouble, and he'll go down back at the 12. Brian Burns, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. Well, this has been a pretty sizable drive. They've had some success. Finally, the defensive coordinator found some success of his own.
I think he just simply said enough of that. Okay, they've moved the ball well. We need to force the issue from our end, and that's exactly what he did.
Murray sets to throw on 4th. And that is incomplete. They can't hook up here on the 4th down pass attempt, and the Panthers will get the football back. So they really needed points here in a 2-score game. Could not come away with anything there on 4th.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, they can't check out of this game. You and I have called a good number of games over the course of our career where we've seen these types of situations. Teams get the ball back, and that miracle does occur.
And he lost the football, and the Cardinals have got it going the other way. So they've got the football, and they'll start right on the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line.
Partner, that one looked like it was over. I mean, they had control, had the football, and the defense had to make a play in order to keep them in the game. That's exactly what they did.
And now that door ajar, 2-score game, so hold on here, not done in the 4th. Now a play fake here on 1st down. That's going to be caught by Kirk. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a 1st and goal. At this stage, this drive's got to be touchdown or bust because you need 2 of them.
And if I'm the offensive play caller, I'm not just looking at my dagger plays downfield. I'm looking at some of my specials, something that can fool them and give you a big play now.
That's going to be caught by Kirk for a Cardinals touchdown. Christian Kirk, his 3rd touchdown now on the year, as his guys are back within a single score. So a one-handed grab in the end zone. Nothing much more rewarding than that for a guy catching it.
Not at all. And with what we just saw there, that type of a one-handed catch, what's next? Maybe they go up and almost Velcro with their jersey in the ball. That's about all that's left. That play, simply spectacular.
So a one-handed grab in the end zone, not much more impressive than that. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. Now, Charles, of course, you got to remember, last possession they fumbled. It led to a touchdown. One-score game here. Got to be careful.
And this is where coaching and training really comes into play, doesn't it? What does everyone say after an error? Next play. Move on. Next drive. That mantra has to come to the front. They've got to take care of business right here and act like the last series just didn't happen.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. On the ground, McCaffrey. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11.
Ready? 58 to Mike. Yeah.
They'll drop the throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Devin White coming in to drop it for a loss of 8, and it also brings up 4th. Here's the Panthers punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And taken right at the 35. Touchdown Cardinals. A punt return of 65 yards as his guys are an extra point away now from taking the lead here in the 4th. A very important extra point there, up and good, and they have taken the lead here in this 4th quarter. So after surrendering the punt return for a score, let's see what they can do in turn on this kickoff. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. One play has them up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. They'll run with McCaffrey. And he'll get it across midfield and down into Cardinal territory. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. Now a give, right side. It's Caldwell looking for a seam but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Not enough there for a first. No gain, as a matter of fact. And it leaves them at 3rd and 1. Here we go, 3rd and 1. Gut check time on both sides. They'll try and pick it up with McCaffrey. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. A nice first down pickup on a gain of 6.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Fourth quarter, 2 minutes on the clock in a tight 1-point game. So it's Panther football as we welcome you back. They come up on a 2nd down now in a game that looks like it's going to go down the wire. McCaffrey, just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down.
I like the call there because that was one to take time off the clock and get them closer to getting out of here with a W. In the mind of the play caller, all you want to hear is tick, tick, tick.
He's back to throw, and he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Devin White in there to drop him as that clock continues to run. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This for the lead in the final stages. The Cardinals going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. They'll look to throw, and he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Devin White, and that'll be just about all she wrote for this one. Well, the D brought the house. They called the blitz, and they get to the quarterback, overwhelming the O-line.
And I would love to know, and we'll find out later on, was that called before the play, or did they audible into it? Because defenses change plays as well as offenses. Sometimes they get the set they want. They go right to the blitz, and in this case, they nailed it. Got right to the quarterback. No chance on that 4th down.
The 1st down run with Bell as he'll get about 6 there. Wow, a personal foul at this stage in the 4th. Hard to believe.
Really hard to believe, and now that glow of hope that you had begins to flicker out, doesn't it?
Yep. Now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. They run with Bell on 1st down as he'll get forward for about 5 yards. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. Again, it's Bell. They'll get him to the ground at the 20 following a pickup of 4. The Panthers going to use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game.
Mike is 59. Mike to 59. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
They'll try and run for it with Bell. And the lane closes quickly for Bell, and he did not make it. Now the Panthers going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in quarter number 4. And this one is right through. And that'll move their lead up to 4 now. So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now, because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden, they're down. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. They're down here in a one-score game. At the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it? And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. He'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. And that is incomplete. Down to 15 seconds now. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Back to throw. And that'll be incomplete with 11 seconds remaining now.
Intended for Terry Godwin. Incomplete. It's now 4th down.
Down 4 late. Got to go for it here on 4th down.
Switch gears.
Here we go with McCaffrey. And this is going to come up well short as they stop him on 4th down. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and that's going to be just about all she wrote for this one. Down to Inigo's Murray as that will just about wrap this thing up.
It's a loss of a yard. Brings up 2nd and 11.
A great come-from-behind victory in this one, Charles, and really the difference, obviously, was at 4th.